Go, we're going live. I am joining the Discord. Okay, Discord. Okay, you guys should be able to hear me. It's me, the Beetlejuice. Apparently, I get to be the game master today. Welcome to the kickoff for the 3-month Patreon build contest. We are setting up the stream now, so yeah, bear with me here. There's a lot of buttons. I normally am not here for the stream setup. Normally this stuff's all done. I just show up and I'm just handsome and I'm charming and everybody's like, oh, what a delightful and charming young man. And I'm like, please, I'm not a day under 3,000. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Eleventstorm Partreon build server. Let's pop out the chat for the YouTube. Let's say howdy to the Twitch people. Twitch and YouTube people. If you don't know what's going on, this is the Patreon build server for the Joe Hills Patreon community. There is going to be a VOD of this, which means that we need to not have it, you know, music for the setup. So, okay. Here we go. We are now set up on the stream. In terms of setting up in-game, just give me a moment here. Okay, got all 3 chats open. Let's open the live event chat over here. Okay, so we got the live event chat open. And, okay, yeah, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to frantically put some stuff in boxes. Everybody loves frantic box placement of items. You know, when you're like, boom. Now, I am in creative mode. This is a survival server. So other people, they can't do what I'm doing right now. This is me being the master of the game. Just like the dungeon master in Dungeons & Dragons can summon more rats. And then the rest of the people probably can't. I mean, unless you're a special kind of druid that's, like, really good at rat summoning or something. I mean, I guess at that point, yeah, you can just summon whatever you want, man. You go for it. Okay, so we've got some blocks here. Basic, colorful blocks. We're gonna get some terracotta as well here. Let's get some white terracotta, some lime green terracotta, some yellow terracotta. We're gonna just dump all this stuff into boxes so that people can come grab it during the event. Now, there's probably a faster way to do this. I don't know, man. Probably. But, like, see, that kind of just... I guess I could do... Yeah, that doesn't really feel faster. Welcome to Dungeon Mastering in Minecraft. Except there's no dungeon. We're just on a mushroom. We're on a mushroom island on the same seed as Hermitcraft Season 11. This is the Eleventstorm server. If you don't know what the Eleventstorm server is, let me give you a quick pitch. Basically, everything is out of balance. There's an eternal storm that the players have to put out by doing the thing that we're about to do today. We're going to kick off an explanation of how the players can save the world, or at least restore balance to it until something else comes along. Yeah, so we're going to have some dirt, we're going to have some cobble, have some cobwebs, have some mossy cobblestone in here. So, anyway, what we are doing now is we are putting down all the items for the events. The players, seeing which items are available, might be frantically adding things to or from their own inventory. This is not the safest place for a 15-minute build contest, though. They will not have time to leave, and they will not have time to come back. The world spawn is about to get set to right here. So set world spawn. Set world spawn. Boom. Now, we're going to go ahead and TP at A to me. Welcome.
You can actually do at A.
What?
Well, at A, you also got all the entities, so you got... Unless those frogs have been there.
Well, apparently some frogs got teleported too. That's fine. Anyway, you guys probably want to stay close. There's some things named Magma Cube if you get too far out. I wouldn't get too far out. Those magma cubes might have abilities. So, anyway. We are here to kick off the Outpost build contest. Now, this year's Outpost build contest is a little bit different in the spirit of Season 11, where we have this beautiful stained glass here that's barely differentiable from the other stained glass. Time, set, day. Yeah, that's right. I'm the Beetlejuice. I do what I want. The time clocks. Boom. We can have an 11 here. This is not a grade 11 yet. It's getting better. Getting better all the time. Boom. 11. In the spirit of Season 11, we are going to be constructing the outposts in pairs. Each pair of outposts will run parallel to a partner outpost. If there's an odd number or you're just generally misanthropic, you can build a dead, graveyard, abandoned outpost in parallel to your own. But here's the thing. Since you're supposed to be restoring balance to the world, things are messed up. There's frogs everywhere. There's magma cubes in the overworld. I don't know, man. It seems like it's not great. What you probably want to do is you probably want to restore balance by pairing up with an outpost that has kind of an opposite theme than yours. So, for example, if your outpost was ice-themed, you might go fire-themed. I've set up a little example here. Here's fire on this side and water over here. Imagine two parallel roads running side by side, but some distance apart. That exact distance is up to the pair, but each outpost road needs to be at least 320 meters long to allow 8 32-meter long plots with 8 blocks of spacing between each one. The roads need to be 19 meters wide with 3 meters of space on either side for like sidewalks and green space, so that way we can appreciate the parade floats that get built. And in between the two roads, at some point along the length of the two roads, I'm not going to tell you where, you need to build a plaza that bridges the two areas. Here is a demonstration of what that plaza might look like if it was very small. So, for example, you got some fire stuff on this side, you got some water stuff on this side. In the center of the plaza, when the build contest is completed, every plaza will receive a functional end portal. You will also have, your plaza should have a nether portal there. And you might say, why do we need another portal and an end portal? Well, this plaza will be a travel hub. Why is it going to be a travel hub? Right now, world spawn is being mostly randomly changed. I'm randomizing it on a semi-regular basis. Right now, it happens to be over here. But once the 3-month build contest is complete, assuming you all restore balance, the world spawn locations will rotate so that each place that has just held a parade will now be the host until the next parade. Outposts will be judged individually and be competing to select which month they hold a parade in, not necessarily for which holiday. So, for example, there might be, if you wanted to do Groundhog Day, you'd want to get February. Or if you wanted to do Valentine's Day, well, we've learned from real experience, you can only really do one of these parades a month and have people show up. So, if you really want to do October for Halloween, you better hope somebody else doesn't really like a different holiday in October, and that they don't build better than you. So, that is how we are doing that. So, each of these plazas will theoretically be world spawn twice. Once when the one side's parade is up, and then again when the other side's parade is up. When it comes to the judging, the judges will be judging your individual outpost against every other individual outpost. But part of your judging will be how well your plaza unifies the two themes of you and the paired outpost. So, you are going to be at a disadvantage if you just build a abandoned city outpost. Now, since each outpost at some point is going to be world spawn, you should also be thinking about how that plaza will serve to greet new players, how it will provide them with starting materials, how it will suggest where they might go to find new land, to build bases, how it might set them up with temporary housing in the adjoining outposts. Like, hey, there's the apartment building over there that you can set up in, or hey, there's a tent camp over here in our outpost because that's more thematic. So, right now, we have a very hostile world start. Every player for the next 3 months who starts in this world will start in a cyclical randomized place in hell, aka the Nether, but y'all are fixing that. Y'all will each get to host World Spawn if you participate in the long-term 3-month build contest. I'm going to talk a little bit before we get started with our 15-minute build contest celebrating this kickoff. I am going to say real quick, our judges are all 3 returning from the Season 10 build contest. Brent and Pepper Bowen of the homegrown B-Dub Pinball channel, and Manu Smith of Mystery Pinball Theater 3000. All 3 have agreed to join me on Saturday, February 28th, 2 p.m. U.S. Central Time, noon Pacific, for the Outpost judging. So, we have a set date. We have judges that y'all have seen before, so you've seen their reactions. You can go back and watch the episode or the VOD where they reviewed the Season 10 stuff if you're interested. Does anyone have any questions about anything I've said so far before we move on to today's 15-minute build contest task? Please type them in the in-game chat if so. How far can sister outposts be? I am not setting a strict thing for that, but your roads do need to run parallel to each other and stay parallel to each other for the length of the roads. And the plaza that connects them is going to have to be bigger the further apart they are, or smaller the closer together they are. So it's up to you and your outpost partner to try to figure out exactly what you want to do for that. That's going to depend on your theme and all sorts of other stuff. Were those US times the same time window as this is? Yes, right now it is 2:15 US Central. Kindleless says, where's the world border? If you don't set a world border, is there a default world border? So I think there is the world border. Any other questions? Dragula in the Twitch chat says, my message is waiting mod approval because I yelled in all caps even though it's against the rules. Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and time you out for that. Thank you for reminding me to check that message that was waiting for mod approval. Okay. It's fun. It's fun being the Beetlejuice. Okay, I think we're ready to move on to today's 15-minute build contest. Today's 15-minute build contest is create 2 parallel lines with some minor detail of your choosing that reflect you understand what balanced outposts might be. Give me a pitch for 2 outposts. Build them together or apart. Let me give you an example real quick. This is not going to be a great example, but okay. So I might be like, okay. No, you shouldn't be breaking blocks because I don't want you stealing my outpost pitch. So, okay. So one of these is metallic and flame-proof. And oh, you know what? Let's maybe add some red. That's not red. Oh, okay. I could add details here because I have 15 minutes in theory. Right now, this is just me giving an example. Ooh, okay. So we've got some red stuff going on here that represents heat or something. I don't know, man. Mixed in over here. Okay. So yeah, this outpost is going to be all mechanics and lava and things like that. This one, it's going to be all natural and flammable materials. And so where the 2 meet, we have to be really careful about how we build it to maintain the balance between flammability and inflammability. But yeah, it is going to be hard to break blocks. There's only 15 minutes, and there's a guy up there who stops you from breaking blocks. But okay, so let me go ahead and get a timer started. We have some blocks up here that you can use. Are you working together? That you may. You may work together in pairs for this task, but you don't have to. This is just a chance to demonstrate that you get the concept. Whoever has the most compelling pitch is going to win. And what are you going to win? We're going to throw some light blocks at you. You can only get them as a mod. So, 15 minutes is starting now. If you see any mobs that are in your way or in any way stopping you from achieving the build you want, feel free to just murder those. There is a perimeter guard that may wander too close to you. You know, nothing over here is precious to me, other than those netherite blocks, which I've already taken. So, we are at 14 minutes and 26 seconds remaining. Folks are grabbing blocks here. I should probably be cloning some of these as we go. Hopefully some of you guys brought stuff from home, too. This can be very abstract. This is you pitching something that, obviously, with 3 months to build it, we would do this a lot differently. Okay, 13 minutes and 50 seconds remain. I'm going to remove the setting up stream now sign. Should have done that earlier. Okay, we've got some things. Are we pitching actual outposts? You are pitching concepts for outposts. It doesn't have to be what you would actually build. But this is kind of a brainstorming session where everybody is going to be pitching different outposts, and it'll get everybody excited about different ideas. So, feel free to just go wild with this, even if you think you could never build it in the 3 months we have. Throw some lines down and make a pitch. Be careful about the named magma cubes on the edges. Once again, if you have to kill any mobs to get things done around here, that's fine. 12 minutes and 50 seconds remain. We're going to be doing a lot more small build contests and challenges throughout this season. Kind of in addition to the big month, in addition to the big 3-month outpost build, we're going to have the monthly parade float builds after that. But we are going to have some little 15-minute challenges where people might be solo, they might be in small teams, like folks are allowed to pair up here. Feel free to kill any mobs that are inconveniencing you. This is not a pacifist event, although I'd prefer you not murder other players, please. I'll get annoyed if you murder other players, but anything that's not a player, you can kill. Kindleless seems to have figured out that it is inbounds to go dump lava on the Elder Guardian. I was curious how long that would take. It was 11 minutes and 40... Or we have 11 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. And the Elder Guardian is down at 11:30. So... I did drop the clue like 5 times. Yeah, I know. Maybe I should have been more subtle. I'm calibrating for future events. I don't run a lot of these. We got folks running around building all sorts of stuff here. The world is out of balance. Only you can restore it by building outposts in balance with each other. And send the Everstorm back where it belongs. But yeah, these are very fast and loose concepts with very basic block palettes. We're giving people an opportunity to present whatever they can come up with in this 15-minute window. They were not warned what the theme would be for this challenge. We've got shrieking phantoms. Got all sorts of trubs here. The lit up area is relatively safe, but there are some perimeter guards here. Named magma cubes. (9:45). 9 minutes and 40 seconds now remain. Lots of little builds going in throughout here. Open Bag 2 was struck by lightning while fighting Phantom, but World Spawn is over here, so he is back in the game and ready to rock and go. Ooh, this build is on fire. Fire tick is indeed on. Putting your lightning rod right next to the wood. Bold move. Mr. Hardluck was doomed to fall by named magma cube. I told you, you guys gotta watch out for those named magma cubes. Queen Dark Lady also slain by named magma cube. We've got 8 minutes and 8 seconds remaining. Do withers shoot at phantoms? Asking for a friend. They do not. That's disappointing. Well, we'll figure something better out next time. Phantoms are undead. Good to know. Oh, so Smite does extra damage against them. If you're enjoying this chaos, rotational tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Beetlejuice knows how to negotiate, but we don't need to go into details right now. 6 minutes and 25 seconds remain. Okay, Vin Shoken just decided to show up here, so... Good luck, Vin. Logging in during an event. You've gotta be Shoken. Vin says, what a beautiful world. Yeah, I'd be careful about the perimeter guard. There's some named magma cubes. I'd stay near the build contest, Vin. Named magma cube got Zoekins. Gotta be careful with those. M. Kanor, you might think that, but I couldn't possibly comment. Four minutes and 25 seconds remaining. Oh, wow, we got some armor stand magic occurring. Queen Dark Lady sharing information with the competition. We'll see if that pays off. Open bag 2. Reaching for the sky there. Open bag 2 has no regrets. Good way to live, open bag 2. That's exactly the right attitude for the Eleventstorm server. This is our bleeding edge server. We're going to be switching to the new jar of Minecraft as soon as it comes out. We're expecting early December for that with the spears. Cautiously optimistic. I don't have any inside knowledge from Mojang, but cautiously optimistic that we're going to have that between now and Christmas to play with over the holiday break. Open bag 2 says, does anyone have spare torches? Dottie Matrix does. Look at that, a lot of cooperation. Even though these people are competing, they might actually restore balance to the server. Who knows? It's a mystery. Vincho Ken says this is so relaxing. I'm so pleased, Vin. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remain. 2-minute, 30-second warning. Once again, this is a 15-minute build contest for any viewers just joining us. So it's in stark contrast to the 3-month build contest. The 3-month build contest actually has the same theme as this, really. It's just a matter of how much you can do in 15 minutes versus how much you can do in 3 months. We're just gonna bring this right over here. Where's a good place for this guy? Is there a good place for this guy over? 1 minute, 12 seconds remaining. Oh, open bag 2's gotten beat up enough. We don't need to bring this to open bag 2. Oh, yeah, let's just dump this guy right here by the portal. I don't know if this is one of those horses where if you approach it, it gets struck by lightning, but we're about to find out. No, it's not! Oh, okay, it was fine. Okay, enjoy your horse, Moon Roses. 30 seconds. I really thought that was going to turn into 4 skeletons on horses. Salem tip 20 and says, enjoying the chaos. Thank you, Salem. We're going to rotate the camera 20 degrees angular. Do. 15 seconds. I say that. It's more like 10, 9, 8, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Everyone stop building. Everyone stop building. Okay. So, let's go around and we're going to start over here. We're just going to kind of go around clockwise. Greyheart, what do you got for us here?
So my parallel lines represent balance across time. So we've got a medieval fantasy line here, see represented by the different items. This side is more modern, cyber tech punk type future. And then this here is just the portal plaza that connects them. So the idea being that to restore balance to the server, it is a task that spans time from past to future.
Interesting. Past, medieval, future, cyberpunk. A solid opening pitch from Greyheart. Continuing around clockwise here. Whose is this over here with the mossy cobble and the sea lanterns? What do we got here?
That is mine. I also, I guess, did something similar to Greyheart, where on the one hand we have kind of an old, medieval sort of dark fantasy kind of theme with like an old wooden hut. And then on the other side is a more sci-fi kind of road. You can imagine it like way up in the air, maybe with flying cars or something. I don't know. And there's a much fancier, brighter building there, and connecting them is something that kind of starts off as like a dark tower castle type of thing at the bottom, but then as it goes up starts to get more sci-fi like with like holograms at the top and all that.
Very interesting. Yes, the two roads do have to be parallel, but not necessarily at the same Y level. Good point there. So, once again, who was that who presented? Say your name again for the audience.
That was Alpacatastic.
That was Alpacatastic. We had Greyheart, then Alpacatastic. Alrighty, what do we got next here?
Okay, this is mine. This is Dez.
Tell us about it, Dez.
14. Hello. Okay, so this is a concept where we have a giant desert and we are trying to build an oasis, but the oasis is in two factions. There's a middle river here. One side is lava, one side is water. This side of the river is kind of colorful and has like garden stuff and has a cute little lighthouse and has like joyful things. And this side has scary times, oh no bad, gothic, and there's a skull garden, and it felt like it'd be fun. But yes. And this is a bridge.
So different emotional responses. Scary times over here, more happy, fun garden times over here.
Yes.
A solid pitch. Thank you, Dez. Let's see, we've seen Greyhearts, so continuing around here. Whose amethyst is this?
That's Melora. Hi.
Hi, Melora.
So the core concept for here is that purple and yellow are opposite colors.
Okay.
So it's like from a map standpoint that works. And also, so we got the amethyst side is going with like crystals, city like in miniature here. I keep hearing my voice echoing. So we have a cityscape on here, very high tech using crystals, like high fashion stuff, and then oversized plants and just bright green, vibrant area. That's it.
So organic structure as opposed to a crystalline structure.
Yes, exactly.
With a complementary color scheme corresponding to each. Very cool. An excellent pitch by Melora. Alrighty, what do we got here with the cobwebs and the green terracotta? Whose is this? Moon Roses, feel free to type your thing. You don't have to be on mic if you don't want. light and dark. Fair enough. You certainly got the frogs' attention. They seem to like it. Complementary color schemes, totally fair. Alrighty, let's go ahead and move down here where we've got resin and lime terracotta. Oh, Moonrose said making... Sorry, I thought you were done. Fair enough. Thank you, Moonroses. Whose is this with the resin and the lime terracotta here?
That is mine. Hello.
Hello, who is mine? Say your name,
Mine
please.
is Marcos.
Excellent, thank you, Marcos.
Okay, so I have chosen for this theme the battle between regular moss and pale moss. I didn't have any regular moss, so the regular moss is left as an exercise to the viewer.
Okay.
I thought of it because of the way that the two both creep through stone, as you can see illustrated by the once again lack of regular moss in the middle. And I've constructed a dead side and a living side. And I didn't have any leaves, so I guess this is like a postmodern terracotta tree. There's also a brook. I hope there's an appropriate degree of babbling for your taste.
I'm constantly babbling, so this is very tasteful.
And then the idea is that despite their differences, the two sides work together to defend the humble cobblestone road from the creeping encroach of the regular moss and the pale vines which spread to all nearby blocks, as they are wont to do when pale moss carpets are nearby. I would have put down a creaking heart, but I'm sick of seeing those things.
That's totally fair. Just as a clarification, I want to make sure everybody understands. Each pair of outposts needs 2 parade float roads. So there would be a plaza that bridges the 2 roads at some point along them, but it doesn't need to run the whole length. You wouldn't have a third road necessarily. You could if you wanted to, which sounds like what Marco is pitching here, but I want to make sure people are clear on that. Okay, well, Marco, I really like this. You've got life and unlife. You've got similarities and differences. Thematically, a very strong choice. Okay, who's pitching next over here? We've got... ooh, I like the elevation change. What are we looking at here?
That would be mine, Superstone.
Tell me about it, Superstone.
So what we have on the left here is a representation of what the Minecraft world looks like normally before Tango gets to it. It's nice, it's got water, it's got greenery, it's got these nice hills. And on the right is the world after Tango Tech gets to it and builds decked out, and everything is horrible and hollowed out and there are monsters underneath.
Interesting. So this is kind of a man-scarring nature type of thing, a before and after.
Indeed.
A very strong pitch from Superstone. Okay, let's continue clockwise here. I think the next one we're going to run into is... we got this armor stand thing here with 2 buckets. Whose is that?
That's mine, Joe. It's Kindleless here.
Okay, Kindleless, what do you got?
I have 2 pathways of moss, because functionally moss is identical, as for a redstone perspective, but visually they are very different, and they have different utilities and uses, so I thought that would be a good representation of the 2 roads. And then in the center I have a pathway of sus sand, because everything I do is kind of suspicious, and I want to recognize that. And I have a nice hut here to represent the welcome building, so when people spawn in, they have immediate shelter from, the storm, and can gear up and go on with their day. And the armor stand is to let people know that we have armor stands, and we can do that on the server already.
That is true. So one thing I would like to point out, in the same way that we had some themes here that kind of were similar, futuristic and past, or medieval, basic Minecraft versus advanced Minecraft. if folks are looking for partners to be their pair outpost, like for example, Marcos and Kindless both came up with this 2 types of moss pitch. Maybe one of them says to the other, hey, do you want to take the living moss side and I take the other moss side, or vice versa. Maybe same thing with the past and present. This is also kind of folks kind of seeing where other people are on the server that they might not normally talk to, what they're thinking about this approach. So yeah, Kindless, thank you very much for showing us this. Very cool. I like the little hut, and good demo on the armor stand. People are saying I might have missed the one over here. I kind of, since my body crossed this one to get to that one, I was going in a circle, but yeah. So I'm still going in order in my head, but I could see how people might think that. So whose is this? Is this one super deformed? Some people were saying it might have been.
Are we talking about the sea lanterns and terracotta one here?
Yes.
Because that would be me.
Who is me? Please say your name for the group. And
Me, Emerald Lappin.
Excellent.
Okay, so thank you for noticing that this one got missed, by the way, people. So I arrived very late with no plan whatsoever, and so I heard parallel line, and I just went line in the sand. This is the sea, this is the shore. Down the middle you've got your mix of sea foam, of sand, of waves. I don't have a better concept than that. It's just a lot of parallel lines.
Land and sea balancing at the edge of the surf. That is a strong pitch, Emerald Lappin. This is, once again, these things don't necessarily always have to be opposites per se. They have to be things that can be in balance or out of balance, and we're bringing them into balance. This, I think, is a fantastic representation of the sort of concepts that people could be coming up with for this 3-month build contest. Well done. Let's see, who's up next here? I see we've got kind of a few. Let's do the one with the weird scales, the yellow terracotta and the light blue terracotta first, and then we'll move on to the one next to it. So whose is this? Might be Swanee, because Swanee's standing in front of it. Scales are mine. Yeah, go ahead. You can type something up in text chat for us. That's okay, Swanee. Just share the idea you had. This is a 15-minute brainstorming session. This is just an opportunity for everybody to kind of see what other people are bouncing around in their heads and see if it jostles anything loose in theirs. So, Swanee says, I went with the concept of balancing 2 different floating islands connected by a great set of scales. That's an interesting one. That's out there. That's not exactly what I was thinking, but that's good. Being challenged in the scales for in the plaza in the center. I mean, that's, yeah, if you were going to do 2 floating islands or cities or whatever, having the scales and the plaza in the center. I mean, this is... That's a top tier. You're in the running. I'm gonna say, Swanee. The individual floating islands don't seem as well defined as some of the other pitches, but can you talk about what did you have any sort of concept for your 2 contrasting islands or comparable islands or balancing islands here? Mostly a blank slate. Okay, still, otherwise, this is a fantastic all-around pitch. Thank you, Swanee. Let's go ahead and move on to who has the milk. Who has the milk bucket?
Gaia, can you hear me?
Yes, Gaia, go ahead and pitch me on what is this? What are we looking at?
So these are 2 parallel roads, one representing a white mold, Penicillium camemberti, and the other representing a blue mold, a Penicillium roqueforti. And within the middle is a font of milk being perpetually pasteurized by flames rising up from the earth. And so the pasteurization keeps the two molds in check, so the molds cannot encroach upon the font itself, but as the milk spreads out to the two roads, the molds can colonize the surface on their own side.
That's a really strong pitch. That's a really strong pitch. Yeah. So, I don't want to get too in the weeds on this, but are these molds in real life used to make different types of cheeses? And if so, like, do you mind saying which ones, if you know?
Yeah, the camembert is used to make brie and camembert, and then the roquefort is usually used to make roquefort, but there's a couple of other blue cheeses that it's used to make.
I mean, if two people or two groups both wanted to make cheese-based outposts and then balance them in the center with pasteurization and a milk fountain, that would be, if you spent 3 months on that would be a hard one to beat at the end of that 3 months. I don't know if that's the sort of project people want to do, but, like, I think you really nailed kind of the spirit of this brainstorming session. Like, we're throwing out ideas whether or not we know if they're practical. This is very, very cool. And so, could you say your name again for the benefit of anybody at home?
I'm Gaia. Gaia Eagle.
Gaia Eagle with the cheeses.
Cheese wizard.
Cheese wizard Gaia Eagle. Very strong pitch. Very strong pitch. Alrighty, so who do we have next?
Hey, Joe, it's me, Mantua Maker. I was going for Tolkien-esque, so I got one side that's the dwarfs, and the other side's the elves, and in the center is the they're balancing out the evil power of Mordor. Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. So Alliance is made up of cultures with their own values finding common ground through a common goal.
Yep.
Thematically sound. I like it. Well done, Mantua Maker. For the viewers at home, if you're just joining us, we only had 15 minutes for each team to do their building here. So this is people expressing concepts very rapidly, sketching them out in survival with just a few blocks I gave them. Yeah, there are a few more. We're gonna get to everybody. Don't worry. Next up, let's see who open bag 2. Is this your mushroom run here?
Yep, let me quickly stop astral projecting. Alright, so Minecraft is an interesting game with so many blocks in it, and so many mobs, but so many of them are just reskins of the same mob, at least at first glance. So this idea is to compare and contrast base blocks or base mobs and then their alternate counterparts, their shiny versions. So on the one side we have these red mushrooms that you could think of as representing the red mushrooms, cows, whatnot. We've got a blaze here, and we've got a regular slime. And then on the other end, we have brown mushrooms for the brown mushrooms. You can imagine pale moss and regular moss going in here. We've got a breeze. We've got a magma cube. So the idea is, and then in the center, as is very detailed pointed out here, the plaza in between would kind of be comparing and contrasting these two. I also see a lot of value in this with the coming update because we have, what's it called, the parched. We've got all these new mob variants. We've got the zombie horse that'll be a counterpoint to the skeleton horse, which has been in the game. Look, there's one right there. So the idea is basically, in the center, we have this bridging of these different variants where you can really compare and see, well, that these things are more than just a reskin of each other. Anyway, that's my pitch.
Most excellent. Thank you, Open Bag 2. A lot of cool stuff coming out in Minecraft. It's always fun to do the new blocks and the new mobs and stuff when they come out. We don't know for sure if they're going to be out in December, but with a February 28th deadline for the build contest, that's a risky. I like it's bold. You're betting on Mojang delivering, so very cool. Let's see who's up next that we haven't gotten to. I feel like there was one more somewhere. Stellar Spider. What have you got for us? Oh, and sorry, Zoekins. Zoekins, we'll get to you after Stellar Spider because we're at Stellar Spider now. Not pitching a theme. Okay. Stellar Spider says,
I'm not pitching a theme, but my lines represent the contest itself, where both parade routes have their own style, even thinking outside the box for which dimension the roads are parallel in. But the part the grouped teams need to stick to win the contest is the middle courtyard bit.
well, kind of. Kind of. The thing is, realistically, if you don't have good themes, if you don't have good builds for your individual outposts, you're not going to win even if you have a great courtyard. You know what I mean? Like, you really, it's a holistic thing. You know what I mean? So, for example, there's going to be teams that literally share a plaza and share a balance pitch as a result, right? And those teams are going to be ranked against each other based on the quality of their standalone ideas. So, you know, even if you have the best theme and the best plaza, like, and the best balance pitch, you know, you could be competing for first and second place with your partner, or for third and fourth, or second and third, right? You don't know. So you really want your individual outpost. Yeah, if you guys both get first and second, that's great. As long as you don't want the same month. You know, so there's that. But, okay. So thank you very much, Stellar Spider. And then we're going to head over here to Mini Zoekins. What you got, Zoekins? Letting Zoekins type some things. Says, sorry, chat is not working. I mean, you can use the typing. That's one of the reasons we have it. Minikin says, so Verboth and I are pairing up to do a cave. See the frog there. And a floating city of ships. Oh, very cool. So you've got below ground, you've got deep depths and heights, kind of. Airships above, with some sort of floating platform city, and then cave below, running parallel, meeting somehow in the middle. Excellent, excellent concept of balance between the two outposts. Thank you very much, Zoe Kids. Before we wrap up and judge, is there anybody else that we haven't missed? One more. Where did I miss one? Let me take to the skies here. Whose pitch have we not seen? There's one under a mushroom. Oh, we did miss Super Deforms. I'm sorry, Super Deform. Oh! Yeah, my bad. Yeah, Super Deform, go ahead and pitch us. What are we looking at here?
Alright, can you hear me?
Certainly.
Okay, basically going for... Sorry. Have my key binded to the wrong thing. Basically, dark underworld, trippy, weird base on one side, and then the other side would be a kind of a pulp action adventure Pitfall Indiana Jones kind of a theme. This is my first time doing this, so I don't really know what else to do.
No, I mean, that's totally fair. It's a 15-minute build contest. We're throwing out ideas. So, I'm trying to figure out how the two balance each other, though. Because, like, when I think of Indiana Jones, that's adventure and the underworld. I mean, there are, like, adventures into the underworld, like Catabasis, or whatever the plural is in Greek. I don't speak Greek.
Well, I was thinking like the top world is the more lighter color ones, more action adventure, and then the underworld's more of the final boss level / destination, I guess.
Interesting. Journey versus destination.
Exactly.
I might have done half that work for you, but it's at the end of the day, it does actually sound pretty good. Journey and destination thematically are great things to balance. So this is a excellent first entry from Super Deform. Thank you very much. Glad to have you on the server. We are going to have a lot of fun with this 3-month-long build contest. It's been great seeing everybody kicking around ideas, and hopefully this gets the gears turning in all of y'all's heads too. We are going to be accepting registrations for teams after the stream ends. Anybody who creates an outpost team will get a text channel and a voice channel in the Discord, so that way they can coordinate and plan with their teammates for their outpost. Okay, so real quick, I am going to say, since everyone online did a great job, you're all going to leave here today with the Captain Picard special 4 lights. So everybody has 4 lights. Once you place these, you can't pick them back up. But you can't get those normally in survival. A fun treat for everybody trying to bring balance to the Everstorm. Now, there were a few... Just... all of these were solid. All of these had a good comprehension of what we were trying to do and made solid attempts toward achieving it. However, the one that stands out to me the most at the end of the day is the cheese. This one, absolutely first place, no question. So Gaia, I'm gonna give Gaia Eagle here. $64 lights. You don't have to keep those. You can trade them. You can give them to other people. Now, 2 honorable mentions. This whole corner, this is like the corner of creativity over here. The land and sea and the counterweight scales. Really, really solid pieces of a great 3-month build. They weren't quite as complete as the cheese road here. But both of those folks, Swanee and who was it again who had the land and sea? I'm so sorry. Emma Lappin, yeah. An extra 16 lights to Emma Lappin and Swanee. But y'all, these are all so fantastic. I would be excited to see any of these pitches as 3-month explorations. Crystalline versus organic, medieval versus futuristic. These all have some pretty solid basis. Wait, did Queen Dark Lady and Mr. Hardluck present? Or were they just over here getting killed? I'm realizing I don't think we heard from Queen Dark Lady and Mr. Hardluck. They might have been run off. You got killed and teleported back home. Oh no. Okay. I was gonna say, if you had broken your beds, you would have ended back up here, because this is World Spawn, but... Okay, yeah. In the future, if somebody... During one of these events, it's intended for you guys to be able to come back here if you die. So, let me know if there's any issues. Sorry I didn't make that more clear up front. That was on me. But, yeah. Anyway, and as an additional treat for everybody who's still here, the World Spawn is going to stay here for a few hours before it resets to the Nether. And in the meantime, if you want to go hunt some magma cubes, or things named magma cube, they've been liberally scattered throughout the Mushroom Island. Stellar Spider says, should we keep the Mushroom Island space prioritized for small build contests like this? Not necessarily. Some of the build contests I have in mind might make more sense in the end, or in the Nether, or other places. this is the one I wanted to do here, and I've done it. So don't worry about the rest of the Mushroom Island. Although maybe you should worry about the rest of the Mushroom Island, because there's a lot of named magma cubes out there. Just waiting for you. So yeah, feel free to Easter egg hunt the remaining magma cubes. Good luck. Alrighty. Yeah, the frogs only do anything. The frogs are there to help you turn the magma cubes into pearlescent frog lights, if you want, or other colored frog lights, ochre frog lights, maybe. Alrighty. Well, thank you to everybody who joined us today. I'm gonna get the rules written up with instructions to create your outposts. It would be fantastic to know. Obviously, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you start registering your outposts, even if you don't know if you're pairing up with somebody yet. And even if you don't know your exact code. Can we have an ops channel? Yeah. We can have an ops channel. I think we don't. Do we not have an ops channel? I thought we did. Okay. No, I guess we don't. That's an oversight. Yeah, 11Storm ops can be created, yeah. Yeah, I know we did for 10th Orward. Okay. Well, I think we are ready to say goodbye to everybody. Good luck searching for any additional named magma cubes that might be waiting for you out in the perimeter. I'm going to figure out who I'm going to raid. And I'm going to leave the Discord while I sign off on the stream. So, okay. Let's go ahead now and pull up Twitch. Whoops. .tv/directory/following. Thank you again to anybody who contributed to the Love Tropics event this weekend. I don't know if you guys were there for the finale. Badger and I both watched it together. It was an absolutely amazing time. Raised over $35,000 benefiting the Escuela Biba de la Amazonia, aka the Living School of the Amazon, which is one of the projects being run by the Pachamama Group. It was a super fun weekend. Badger and I enjoyed our segment. It was fantastic getting to talk to Atosa Sultani yesterday morning with Kojo. I love getting to do those interviews. It truly is one of the best parts of being at where I'm at in my YouTube career, getting invited to be a participant and stuff like that. So thank you to everybody out there who's watching who contributed to the Love Tropics event this year, and hopefully we'll see you next year. If you're looking for a place to throw your money now, this Patreon server costs $10 a month to get onto. My Discord's $5 a month via Patreon. These servers are $10 a month to play on. So that is something. Let's see, do we have any other housekeeping before we go? You can always find my stream schedule at joehills.net/soon. And it looks like we are going to go ahead and raid our pal Zombie Cleo, who is hanging out, it looks like, with B-dubs right now. Man, two of my favorite people. Looks like Cleo's at B-dubs' house. Oh, fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to raid Cleo. And when you get over there, our raid message is, howdy y'all, Joe Hills raid here. Thank y'all so much for joining me. This has been a fantastic time. And yeah, so let me head over here and change this to the title to VOD before we end the stream. And until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Stop streaming, stopping the stream. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Look at his little eyes. They look like you. Look, he's looking up at you. He loves you.